Hola! Hello everyone! Welcome to Spanish with Profe. In today's lesson, we are going to learn el pluscuamperfecto del subjuntivo. Today, we're going to be learning the past perfect subjunctive or the pluperfect subjunctive in Spanish. And in this one, we are going to use the helping verb haber. And this is the only time where you're gonna see haber conjugated according to the subject. Yo, tú, él, ella, usted, ellos, ellas, ustedes, nosotros. Only in the perfect tenses is when we use haber and we conjugate it according to the subjects, okay? ¿Listos, chicos? Ready? Vamos a comenzar. Let's begin. Quick overview about the subjunctive. Remember, it is used for probability, something that could happen or would happen. It is uncertainty, non-existent, pending event, God, general expressions like ojalá, God willing. More about the subjunctive. Remember, weirdo. Weirdo stands for verbs of wish and want. That's the W. E for emotions. The I for impersonal expressions. The R for request, recommendations. The D for doubt, desire, denial. And the O for ojalá, God willing. Also, you can also learn the acronym wedding, and in which the W stands for wish, will, E for emotions, D for doubt, denial, I for impersonal expressions, N for negation, and the G for God or general expressions. So, ojalá. So whether you like the weirdo or the wedding is all up to you. Remember, the subjunctive happens on the second part. The subjunctive cannot stand by itself. It depends on verbs of wish, will, emotion, doubt, denial, impersonal expressions, negation, God, general expressions. Okay? Let's move on. The formula for the subjunctive. Let's review this. Subject A plus a verb that will trigger the subjunctive. So it has to be a verb of wish, want, emotion, impersonal expressions, request, desire, doubt, denial, and ojalá category, plus que, plus B, and this B is a different subject, okay? And then the given verb that comes after the person B will take the subjunctive form, okay? In this case, the past perfect subjunctive. Keep in mind that the verb following the subject A will be in the past tense, whether that is pretérito or imperfecto. If you forgot how the pretérito, the imperfecto look, check out my other videos on that. Thank you. How to form the past perfect subjunctive. You will use the helping verb haber. And in this case, when we're using the perfect tenses, that's the only time in which you will see haber be conjugated according to the subject pronouns. Yo, tú, él, ella, usted, nosotros, ellos, ellas, o ustedes. Remember that we don't do vosotros in Latin America, but if you go to Spain, you'll have to learn it there. Okay? And the given verb in the past participle, okay? And since this is a verb, verbs don't have gender, okay? So the past participle is going to end up with an o, okay? Muy bien. So let's move on. A verb as a helping verb in the past perfect subjunctive. This is the imperfect subjunctive form of the verb haber. And let's see. Que yo hubiera, que tú hubieras. If you notice, I'm adding that because this is the second part of the sentence. This comes after the subject A plus the verb that will trigger the subjunctive plus que and then this. Okay. Que él hubiera, que ella hubiera, que nosotros hubiéramos. Keep in mind that nosotros will always carry a tilde. Hubiéramos, okay? Que ellos hubieran, que ellas hubieran, que ustedes hubieran. And then, remember, the given verb, we're gonna be in the past participle. So, the past participle of regular verbs is formed like this. If it's AR, you're gonna go with ADO, A-D-O. If it's an ER and IR, you're gonna go IDO, I-D-O. For example, hablar es hablado. That is the past participle of the verb hablar, to speak. Comer is comido. The past participle is eaten. Vivir, vivido. So if you notice, we drop the AR and then put ADO. If it's an we put ido. And if it's an R, we put ido as well. So the and ir are sharing their endings, okay? Remember, o, their verb. In the past participle, there are some irregular verbs that you will need to memorize. And here is a list of them. To open, abrir, is abierto. The past participle are the ones in black. To cover, cubrir, cubierto. To tell, decir, dicho. To describe, describir, descrito. To discover, descubrir, descubierto. To write, escribir, escrito. To do or to make, hacer, hecho. To die, morir, muerto. To put or to set, poner, puesto. You have to remember that in Spanish, some verbs continue to be irregular, while in other cases they stop being irregular. And some verbs have more than one meaning. To resolve, resolver, resuelto. To break, romper, roto. Remember that the R at the beginning of any word in Spanish is R, double R. Those are hard, but let's practice. Romper, roto. Romper, roto. To see, ver, visto. Remember that in Spanish, there's no difference between a B and a V. So, ver es visto. To return, volver, vuelto. So if you notice, abierto, cubierto, descrito, descubierto, escrito, muerto, puesto, resuelto, vuelto. But then decir es dicho, hacer es hecho, romper es roto, and ver es visto. So this, some of them kind of have a pattern, but most of them don't. So you just have to memorize them, okay? Muy bien. Sigamos. Excelente. The following are some spelling changes you will have to keep in mind when forming the past participle for some verbs. The past participle of ed and ir verbs whose stem end in an a, or o, or ae or o, carry a written tilde on the I. For example, to fall, caer, caído. Make sure you put caído. If you don't have the tilde, it's caído, which doesn't exist. Maybe that's how some of your ancestors might have spoke, because languages change. But modern Spanish nowadays is caído. To believe, creer, creído, creído. Make sure you put a tilde there. To read, leer, leído, leído. To hear, oír, oído, oído. This one, the past participle oír, sounds like oído, your ear canal. Oído. To smile. Sonreír. Sonreído. Sonreído. Oh, I'm not sure if I said to laugh, pero reír, reído. Like when you're watching a funny movie. To bring, traer, traído. Excelente. So es caí. Let's remember the imperfect subjunctive is used to refer to an action that takes place in the past, at the same time or after the action on the main clause. Remember that the subjunctive is on the second, it's a subordinate clause. It comes after, remember, subject A plus a given verb that will trigger the subjunctive, a verb in the weirdo wedding category, like wish, want, wishes, wants, emotions, impersonal expressions, request, denial, desire, ojalá. Okay, so let's continue. Always read carefully to determine if the sentence is in the present tense or the past tense. If it is in the present tense, then you must use the present subjunctive. But if the sentence is in the past tense, then you must use the past subjunctive. In this case, and for the purpose of this lesson, you must use the past perfect subjunctive. Remember that you must use haber plus the given verb. If it's a regular verb that ends in R, you're going to drop the ending and put ado. If or haber, and if the regular verb ends in ed or ir, you're going to drop the ending and put ido. And if not, if it's one of those irregular ones, then you have to remember those, or those that have spelling changes, okay? So let's move on. This is one of the examples. No creía que ellos venir tan rápido. So, no creía que ellos venir tan rápido. So, creía is in the imperfect tense. So, right here, we're going to use, after ellos, we're going to use haber in the past subjunctive form and venir in the past participle. So, let's see. No creía que ellos hubieran venido tan rápido. I didn't believe they had come so fast. No creía que ellos hubieran venido tan rápido. So, ellos is the third person plural, so we're going to use hubieran, and the verb venir, we're going to put it venido in the past participle. No era posible que ellos ver esa película. No era posible que ellos ver esa película. So, era posible is an impersonal expression. Era is in the imperfect tense, so that's a form of the past. So that means that after ellos, we're going to have the helping verb haber, and this verb ver, which is an irregular one, in the past perfect form. So let's see. Dice, ¿hubieran visto? ¿Hubieran ver o hubieran vistos? Let's see. It was not possible that they had seen that movie. Hubieran visto is correct. If you notice, in all of them, the helping verb is correct, hubieran, but not the second verb. You must conjugate the given verb in the past participle. So, hubieran visto is correct. Ojalá will be used to express a different outcome of what really happened. Ojalá Brasil hubiera ganado la Copa Mundial 2022 en Qatar. This is what a lot of people might have wished. So if you notice, this year, we had the World Cup that took place in Qatar, and it was from November 20 to December 18. 32 teams competed. And from 32, they went down to 16, then to 8, then to 4, and then to the championship. And the championship was with France against Argentina, and Argentina won. ¡Go Argentina! ¡Vamos Argentina! Muy bien, sigamos. I wish Brazil had won the World Cup in Qatar. Era dudoso que ellos hacer el examen en 5 minutos. So, era dudoso. Once again, this is in the imperfect. It was doubtful. Okay, so let's see. So, is the answer hubieran nacido, hubieran hecho, o hubieran hacer? Remember, hacer is an irregular verb. Era dudoso que ellos hubieran hecho. Correcto. Once again, the helping verb is correct, but the given verbs are incorrect. Okay, except for B. B is the correct answer. It was doubtful that they had completed the test in 5 minutes. Muchas gracias por ver este video. If you like it, share it, subscribe y hasta pronto. Chao.